Hello everyone, welcome once again to an exciting video. So today we will be talking about the supply chain attack, actually the double supply chain attack. So couple of days back we have heard about light LLM, right? Then we heard about Axios, right? For this kind of attack. Now again, few of the packages are got attacked. So we'll talk about two packages, right? So the second package which got attacked is more severe, that is of level 10 of 10, right? So we'll go one by one. So let's first start with the first one. So in the first one, if I go to this news, right, hacker news, so what does this say, right? So 36 malicious npm package got exploited, right? And they exploited redis, postgres, right, and lot more other packages, right? Not only this. So what does this uh, mean, right? So basically the researchers says that, right, so this exploited redis and postgres mainly, and they have harvested the credential and drop a persistent implant, right? And how did happen this, right? First let's understand and even before that, right? So uh, let me explain what has happened, right? So I have told that researchers said that 36 malicious package, right, uh, got impacted. So the package looked very normal, right? So basically they created a fake package, right, called strap API plugin, right, which looks like the real plugin, right? If you see about this strappy API, so by the time it is loading, right, so okay, it has load. So they have compromised this one, not this one. Basically they have created a similar looking like package like a strappy, right? So what it is open source CMS, self-hosted cloud, right, which is used for the payment purposes, right? And they try to compromise this basically. So they created similar looking package, right? And so every package contains three file: package.json, index, and post install.js, right? So basically what happens, right, so when you install any npm package, right, so what happens when you install any npm package, right, we have these packages: package.json, index, and post install.js. So what happens, package.json contains your normal packages, right? Index.js contain your normal code which that package need basically, right? Post install.js, what happens once the package installs, right, so this script automatically runs, right? So whatever the set of command you will be having, right, in this post install, right, it start executing automatically basically, right, once the package installs. So what hackers did, they targeted this, they have written some malicious code in this. So as soon as you install these plugins, right, so which says these 36 plugins, right, so what will happen, it runs automatically and it exploits your credentials. So basically what has happened, they exploited database like redis and postgres, store credentials and token, right, opened reverse shell, and got remote access, right? So they got remote access, right? So this is their laptop, what is remote access, right? So this is hacker, all right, so let me write it here. So here it is hacker, right? They got access to your system basically, right? So once you install the npm here, npm package, right, they got access to your system, remote connection, right? Now see how dangerous it is, right? And they install the persistent malware as well, right, which can last for a longer time. So now let's talk about how this happened, right? how this happened, right? So what hackers did, right? So what hackers did, they created, so basically they created a duplicate kind of a similar, they created similar looking like package like a strappy. And what developers did, right? So developers think that it is being released by this strappy, and they installed it, right? It's very easy, right? So like let me explain with any example, right? So like if you say your package name is winner, right? And the hacker has created something something like this, right? So which is looking similar, but they are different. So actual strappy API includes at the rate and then slash, right? But the hackers one are looking, right, see, like this. And these packages were uploaded by these 4 accounts, right? Now you can see that, right, these many 36 packages they have pushed, and it has been installed, and lots of systems have been compromised, right? See, because strappy is being used uh, by you can see the weekly downloads, right? It's a huge number of weekly downloads, right? And they have compromised this. Now let's talk about the another attack, which is very big, right? Even more than even more brutal than this, a tool called Flowise, right? So okay, so here is this, right? Flowise is a tool, right? So it's an open source development platform which is used to create the flows, right, in the AI world. So what happened in this case? I would say it's a mistake from Flowise itself, right? Because they have they have left the loophole in their package. So let me explain how, right? So what has happened? So you can see here, right? So attackers attacked this CVE as a code injection vulnerability, uh, carries the maximum CVEs of score 10 out of 10, right? So see how big it is, code injection vulnerability, right? So suppose once you do some kind of API request, right? Suppose you are sending some post request or get request, right? So suppose you are sending some post request to a system. With that, it will take some data as well, right? So it will take some data as well to this system, and that data needs to be validated. And it's a best practice that the data which is coming as an part of API, right, it should not be having some kind of code, malicious code, right? Here it should not be any kind of malicious code. And what has happened here, right? So as soon as the Flowise get the API call, they run some kind of code in the function block, right? Auto executable functions, right? Here it is function, right? If you are a JavaScript developer, you should know that ifs are there, right? It runs automatically as soon as the function is called, right? Or the data will come, the function will run, right? I'll give you the examples how this has been impacted. So what has happened here, right? So the best practice is you should not, any code should not be run, only data needs to be validated and then executed. But what has happened here, as soon as the request comes, the function get executed. So the attacker, what attacker did, right? Attacker, instead of a data, right, some normal data, they send the code, the script, right, over here. They send some script. So as soon as the API request comes, the script executed, they run some code, and then they got the access to their system directly, right? So this has happened. See how blunder has been happened over here, right? Let me now give you the example, right? So suppose you are building a calculator, right? Suppose you are building a, it's a very normal example. You are building a calculator, right? You have some buttons, blah 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 thing here, right? Now you have written of, now you said that you send me the API call which adds two number, right? So you are sending 2 plus 2, right? So you will get equal to, so what you will get, you will get equal to 4. But what hacker did, right? Hacker say, hacker did some script. Instead of 2 plus 2, it sent delete all files, right? So hacker sent this. So now instead of validating the data over here, right, and rejecting it, what uh, Flowise was doing, they directly get the data and executing it, right? So this got ran, and suppose this is example, right? And they got deleted your complete system. Your complete system has gone down. So in this case, what has happened? They ran some code and they got access to, again they got access to their systems, right? So they got remote access to their system. So this has happened with this attack, code injection vulnerability, right? So dangerous, right? So in the real world example, how you get the data? So when you send the API call, right? So when you do the API call, right? Suppose you are doing some post API call, right? And then you send some kind of data as well, right? So you send some kind of data as well with this post call, right? Like server configuration, this, blah, 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 right? Basically. Now, what malicious code has done? They have given this, something like this, right? They have given this. So instead of just the string, they have given in the string. So what has happened? They got the input, it needs to be run, right? So in the server config, they said require child process execute rm-rf/. Whole system gone, right? So instead of rm and -rf, they ran their own script, right? They ran their own script to get the system access, basically, right? Let me give one more example how it was done internally in the Flowise, right? So it was, the function was like this, right? So the function was something like this. The Flowise was executing it, right? So they are creating a new function, user input, and then execute. That's what the ifs are, right? So immediately execute functions, and the attacker, what he or she does, right, like this. So this has what happened. I hope you have gained some information from this, and you will avoid these kinds of system design in your application and in the API design as well. If you have liked this, please hit the like button, and if you want to know more such updates, follow my channel and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.